हरि जय गणपति सरगुण सदन कविवर बंदन कृपा विघ्नहरन मंगल करन जय जय गिरि जाला सर्वमंगल मांगले शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण गणपति चरण जगदुख हरण गणपति चरण जगदुख हरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण। मन के हरे मंगल सदा गणपति करे संताप सब मन के हरे मंगल सदा गणपति करे मन कर रहा प्रार्थना स्मरण मन कर रहा प्रार्थना स्मरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण। बुद्धि के तुम देवता भर भक्ति हृदय में सेवता बल बुद्धि के तुम देवता भर भक्ति हृदय में सेवता शंकर सुवन तारण करण शंकर सुवन चरण निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण। तुम ही कृपा बेहंत है, दुखियों पे तू दयावंत है। तुम ही कृपा बेहंत है, दुखियों पे तू दयावंत है। हम आ गए तेरी शरण, हम आ गए तेरी शरण। निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण, निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण। गणपति चरण जग दुख हरण, गणपति चरण जग दुख हरण। निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण, निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण, निश दिन नामो गणपति चरण।
प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। My dear friends, let me invite you to stand as we all together will join in the singing of Ganesh Arati. एकदन्तं महाकायं लम्बोदर गजाननं विघ्ननाशं करं देवं हेराम्बं प्रणमाम्यहम्। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, 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 जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी। माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी, माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी। दुखियों के दुख हर परमानंद देवा, दुखियों के दुख हर परमानंद देवा, परमानंद देवा, परमानंद देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। अंधन को आँख देकर कुरियन को खाया, अंधन को आँख देकर कुरियन को खाया, अंधन को आँख देकर कुरियन को खाया, अंधन को आँख देकर कुरियन को खाया। महाजन को पुत्र देकर निर्धन को माया, महाजन को पुत्र देकर निर्धन को माया। उस पार करो नाथ, भजन करो तेरा, भजन करो तेरा, भजन करो तेरा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। जो तेरा ज्ञान करे ज्ञान मिले उसको, जो तेरा ज्ञान करे ज्ञान मिले उसको, जो तेरा ज्ञान करे ज्ञान मिले उसको, जो तेरा ज्ञान करो ज्ञान मिले उसको। चोर तुझे और भला दाम है किसको, चोर तुझे और भला दाम है किसको। हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा, हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा, कष्ट हरो मेरा, कष्ट हरो मेरा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, 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 जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे, 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 मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे। प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। Kindly take your seats, my dear friends. प्रेम से बोलो गजानन स्वामी की जय। So tonight, my dear friends, let me take the opportunity on behalf of this very beautiful Mandir, the Esperance Vishnu Mandir, to say a very special warm welcome once again to yet another night of Ganesh Puran Katha, all in celebration of the Ganesh Utsav festival. So tonight, once again, we all have been given yet another opportunity to come and to worship Bhagwan Ganesh, to join in devotion, to listen to the very beautiful Katha, and at the end of it all, to receive of the blessings of Bhagwan. It is said, many are called, but few are chosen. And tonight, we all are the chosen ones who have come to get the darshan, the blessings of Bhagwan Ganesh. To all of you, we say a very special welcome. Of course, tonight, let me acknowledge all the Brahman devatas with us. My Pitaji, who is the Vyas for the Yagna, Pandit Devdat Vyas. Of course, the Pujari Pandit, Pandit Sachitananda Maharaj. My brother is here as well, Pandit Videsh Vyas. And tonight, we are indeed very, happy, very blessed to have with us in our company the Dharmachar of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Pandit Dr. Rampasad Parashuram. And to you, Dharmacharji, we say a very, very special welcome, and it is indeed our blessing to have you with us here tonight. So tonight, my dear friends, let me also say a very special welcome to all our friends listening and viewing on radio and TV Jagrati, and of course, Vivek is here and he is doing the technical work to take the broadcast. So to all of you, we say very special warm welcome to tonight's devotion. Before we go into Katha, friends, for a few moments, we engage ourselves in invocation prayer. We put our hands together. We close the physical eyes. We think of that very beautiful form of Bhagwan Ganesh in front of us. And for these few moments that we are here, friends, we offer a sincere prayer to Bhagwan for his blessings in our lives. Tonight, whatever wishes, whatever desires we have, let us, think of that very beautiful form. And with love and devotion, we offer this prayer unto Him. Harihi Om. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Vakratunda Mahakaya. Surya Koti Samaprabha. Nirvignam Guru Me Deva. Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Saraswati Mahabhage. Vidye Kamalalochane. Vidyarupe Vishalakshi. Vidyam Dehi Namostute. Sarvamangalamangalye. Shive Sarvat Sadhike. Sharanye Trambike Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram. Sansara Saram Bhujagendraharam. Sada Vasantam Hridayadavinde. Bhavam Bhavami Sahitam Namami. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Nijamana Mukura Sudha. Varano Raghuvara Vimalayasha. Jodayaka Palacha. Buddhahina Tanujanike. Sumiro Panakumar. Balabudi Vedya. Harahu Kalesha Vikar. Siyavar Ramachandra Ji ki Jai. Sharanam. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. And so tonight, my dear friends, before we go into Katha, as we would have been doing for all the nights before, we recite the 108 names of Bhagwan Krishna or Bhagwan Ganesh. And of course, we make the offerings of the durva grass, the doob grass, or the bay leaves, or even the red rice, as it were. So we all prepare ourselves now. The main shrotas will go to the murti, and as we begin, everyone will get a chance to come and to make an offering. You may not be able to recite the names, but as you make the offerings, my dear friends, simply Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Make the offering, we touch the feet of Bhagwan, and we receive of the blessings. So we all prepare ourselves to make up the offerings. Harihi Om नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो भ्रातेभ्यो भ्रातपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्चवो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्चवो नमो नमः हरिः ॐ गजाननाय नमः ॐ गणाध्यक्षाय नमः ॐ विघ्नराजाय नमः ॐ विनायकाय नमः ॐ द्वैमातुराय नमः ॐ सुमुखाय नमः ॐ प्रमुखाय नमः ॐ सन्मुखाय नमः ॐ कृतिने नमः ॐ ज्ञानदीपाय नमः ॐ सुखनिधये नमः ॐ सुराध्यक्षाय नमः ॐ सुरारिविधे नमः ॐ सुरारिविधे नमः ॐ महागणपतये नमः ॐ अन्याय नमः ॐ महन्मानाय नमः ॐ मृडात्मजाय नमः ॐ पुरुणाय नमः ॐ पुरुषाय नमः ॐ पुष्णे नमः ॐ पुष्करणिने नमः ॐ पुण्यकृते नमः ॐ अग्रगानाय नमः ॐ अग्रपूजाय नमः ॐ अग्रगामिने नमः ॐ मन्त्रिकृते नमः ॐ चामीकरप्रभाय नमः ॐ सर्वस्मै नमः ॐ सर्वोपक्षाय नमः ॐ सर्वकर्त्रे नमः ॐ सर्वनेत्रे नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धिप्रदाय नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धाय नमः ॐ सर्वबन्ध्याय नमः ॐ महाकालाय नमः ॐ महाबलाय नमः ॐ हेरम्भाय नमः ॐ लम्बजत्राय नमः ॐ ह्यस्वग्रीवाय नमः ॐ महोदराय नमः ॐ मधुकथाय नमः ॐ महावीराय नमः ॐ मन्त्रिणे नमः ॐ मङ्गलदाय नमः ॐ प्रमतर्षाय नमः ॐ प्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ प्रमोदाय नमः ॐ मोदकप्रियाय नमः ॐ धृतिमते नमः ॐ मतिमते नमः ॐ कामिने नमः ॐ कपित्तप्रियाय नमः ॐ ब्रह्मचारिणे नमः ॐ ब्रह्मारूपिणे नमः ॐ ब्रह्माविदे नमः ॐ ब्रह्मावन्दिताय नमः ॐ जिष्णवे नमः ॐ विष्णुप्रियाय नमः ॐ भक्तजीविताय नमः ॐ जितमन्मथाय नमः ॐ ऐश्वर्यदाय नमः ॐ ह्यज्ञायसे नमः। ॐ सिद्धिसेविताय नमः। ॐ विघ्नहर्त्रे नमः। ॐ विघ्नहर्त्रे नमः। ॐ विश्वनेत्रे नमः। ॐ वीराजे नमः। ॐ स्वरागे नमः। ॐ श्रीपतये नमः। ॐ वाक्पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीमते नमः। ॐ श्रृंगारिणे नमः। ॐ श्रीवत्सलाय नमः। ॐ शिवप्रियाय नमः। ॐ शीघ्रकारिणे नमः। ॐ शाश्वताय नमः। ॐ शिवनन्दनाय नमः। ॐ बलोदताय नमः। ॐ भक्तनिधये नमः। ॐ भावगम्याय नमः। ॐ भवात्मजाय नमः। ॐ महते नमः। ॐ मङ्गलदायिने नमः। ॐ महेश्वराय नमः। ॐ महिताय नमः। ॐ सत्यधर्मिणे नमः। ॐ सदाधाराय नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ सत्यपरक्रमाय नमः। ॐ शुभंगाय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रदन्ताय नमः। ॐ शुभदाय नमः। ॐ शुभविग्रहाय नमः। ॐ पञ्चकपातकनाशिने नमः। ॐ पार्वतीप्रियनन्दनाय नमः। ॐ विश्वेशाय नमः। ॐ विबुद्धाराध्यापदाय नमः। ॐ वीरवरग्रहाय नमः। ॐ कुमारगुरुवन्द्याय नमः। ॐ कुञ्जरासुरभञ्जनाय नमः। ॐ वल्लभावल्लभाय नमः। ॐ वराभयकरम्बुजाय नमः। ॐ सुराकलशहस्ताय नमः। ॐ सुराकरकलाधराय नमः। ॐ पञ्चहस्ताय नमः। ॐ प्रदानेशाय नमः। ॐ पुरातनये नमः। ॐ सर्वसिद्धिविनायकाय नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये 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 नमः. As you would have made the offerings, at this time we put our hands together, we perform pratana, we recite the Pancha Raknam, which is considered to be the jewel mantras of Bhagwan Ganesh, as we seek His blessings this afternoon, this evening. Hari Om. Modakarata modakam sada vimukti sadakam kaladharavatansakam vilasilokaranjakam anayakaikanayakam vinashite badaityakam natashubhashunashram navotitarkibhashwaram namatsurari nirjaram natadikapadurdharam sureshwaram nidishwaram gajeshwaram ganeshwaram Maheshwaram tamasre paratparam nirantaram Samastaloka shankaram nirastadaitya kunjaram Daretarora varanam bhareva vakramashrayam Kripakaram kshamakaram mudakaram yashashkaram Namaskaram namaskritam namaskaromi bhashwaram Akinchanarthi marjanam chiranti loti bhajanam Purari Purvanandanam Surari Garvacharvanam Prapanchanashabhishanam Dhananjayadhibhushanam Kapoladhanavaranam Bhaje Puranavaranam Natantakanta Dantakanta Mantakanta Katmajam Achintya Rupamantahina Mantarayu Krintanam Ridantare Nirantaram Vasantame Yoginam Tamekadantame vichintayami santatam Mahaganesha pancharatmara namadharena yonvayam Pragayati prabhatate hridi smaran ganeshwaram Arogatam adoshatam susahitim suputratam Samahitayurashtabhutim ajupeti sochirat Samahitayurashtabhutim ajupeti sochirat Iti Shri Shankaracharya Virichitam Shri Mahaganesh Pancharatnam Sampuranam Prem se bolo Ganapati Ganesh Bhagavan ki Jai. So, my dear friends, once again tonight, Katha is taken from Ganesh Puran. And so, tonight, Bhagwan Krishna, he is relating this said Ganesh Puran to Raja Yudhishthira. Some nights ago, I would have mentioned Raja Yudhishthira is also referred to as Dharmaraj, and he is one of the Pandava brothers. So, Bhagwan Krishna, he is relating to Raja Yudhishthira. And what is he saying tonight? We listen. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Karadura Hamari Bolo Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Karadura Hamari Suno Swami Tuma Madana Gopala Sunaho Swami Tuma Madana Gopala Sara Karau Santana Pratipala Bolo Jai Ganesh Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari Vipati Hamari Vilo Kahu Swami Vipati Hamari Vilo Kahu Swami Kripa Sindura Antarayami Bolo Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari Raja Yudhishthira Vacha ne kaha ki he Madan Gopal. And so Katha says once Raja Yudhishthira, he approached Bhagwan Krishna. And so he made a petition onto Bhagwan Krishna. He says, O divine Lord and Master of this entire universe. He refers to him as O Madana Gopal. आप सदा संतों की रक्षा करते हैं. He says, Prabhu, you are indeed the one who gives protection to all the good and the holy people, the sages and the saints. He says, O Bhagwan Krishna, कृपा करके हमारे विपत्ति की ओर ध्यान दीजिए. He says, O Bhagwan, please look at my misfortune, Lord, and shower your divine grace, your mercy and your blessings unto me. And so Raja Yudhishthira says कि हे दया के सागर, oh, he refers to Bhagwan Krishna, oh ocean of divine mercy and compassion. आप तो अंतर्यामी है. You are indeed the indweller within our hearts. You know the past, you know the present, and you also know the future, O Bhagwan. Or Antarasakshi, you are the inner dweller within all of us. And so Raja Yudhishthira said, मैं बारंबार नमस्कार करता हूँ. Again and again, Bhagwan, I bow before you. Tonight, my dear friends, as we look at this very beautiful katha, there are so many important lessons that we can all, look at and put into practice. Here it is in the katha, Raja Yudhishthira. He is the king. And, being the king, he has everything at his disposal. There is nothing that he wants and he cannot get. Yet still, he is making a petition unto Bhagwan Krishna. He says, Oh Lord, I am experiencing some difficulties in my life and I need your help. Imagine Raja Yudhishthira is the king and he is asking for help. What more can we say of ourselves? From time to time, friends, we too will experience moments of difficulties, just like Raja Yudhishthira. And it is said this world is made up of what we refer to as the dualities of life. Where there is good, there will be bad. Where there is joys, there will be sorrows. And this is what life is made up of, friends. And so, as we go through the corridors of life, we will have many, many different experiences. And it is said, all of us, we are enrolled in a full-time school called life. I want you to pay careful attention. We are all enrolled in a full-time school called life. And each and every experience that we have, whether good ones or bad ones, are potential teachers in the school of life. Just like the child going to school, there will be lessons to learn. And if the lessons are learned, we move up. Similarly to friends, all of these experiences that we have, we should look at them as potential lessons in this school of life. And if we can learn the lessons as we go along, friends, then our lives will be a resounding success. If, however, we choose to ignore the lessons as they come around, then what happens? We may not accomplish the mission. So, Bhagwan, and through this katha, Yudhishthira is telling us, yes, each and every one of us, we will have, low moments, we will have difficulties. Can you imagine tonight, friends, just for a moment, can you imagine a life that is only filled with happiness? You might say that might be a good thing. But you know what, friends? If you had a life filled with happiness, eventually life will get boring. It is said, happiness, in order to appreciate happiness, what you must have? You must have some moments of unhappiness. So it is said, happiness, friends, is the interval between two moments of sadness. And when we experience both, friends, then we appreciate. So, Raja Yudhishthira, even being the king, no exception, he was faced with some difficulties, and so he came to Bhagwan. And friends, it is very beautifully stated, those low moments, those difficulties are like the refining process in our lives. If I may use an example, think of the nice big diamond that you have on your ring. It looks very nice, very attractive. It looks very, very shining. But you know, at one point in time, that diamond was in the earth. And it had to go through the refining process of, grinding and polishing and cutting before that shine could have begotten. Similarly to friends, our lives are very much like that diamond. Sometimes you see the difficult times and the problems, the trials and the tribulations. They are like the refining process in our lives that that we have to go through in order to bring out the shine and the glow within each and every one of us. So Raja Yudhishthir was no different. He was faced with this problem, and so he was making a petition onto Bhagwan Krishna. And so what happens? We listen as Raja Yudhishthir, he is going to tell Bhagwan of his problem. And my dear friends, we all will join. This is very simple. We all will join in the chorus as we sing along. Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kara Tura Hamari.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari.
Chalaki Doran Raja Chitalinam Aparagya Samaja.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari.
Vanahi Vikari Degi Dukhari, Vanahi Vikari Degi Dukhari, Kana Firo Dushana Dukha Pai. Bolo
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari. Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Kar Dur Hamari.
युधिष्ठिर ने कहा कि हे प्रभु सुनिए. He says, oh Bhagwan Krishna, please listen. राजा दुर्योधन ने हमारे साथ चल कपट किया है. He says, oh Bhagwan Krishna, Raja Duryodhan, through unrighteous means, he has been dishonest to me. Raja और बंधु बाधव हम से छीन लिया है. And he, through his evil ways, he has taken away the kingdom from me. And so Yudhishthira said, Bhagwan, why should this be? Duryodhan, he took away the kingdom from me. He says, बनवास में भेजकर हमें बहुत दुख दिया है. And he has exiled me into the forested region, and so I am suffering. There is great pain within my heart. And so Raja Yudhishthira says, अब हम बन बन भटक रहे हैं. And he says, and because of this, O Prabhu, now I am roaming through the forest and I have nowhere to go. और अपार दुख भोग रहे हैं. And because of this reason, Prabhu, I am suffering immeasurable pain and distress. इसलिए आपसे बड़ा प्रार्थना है. And so, O Prabhu, my Lord, I have come to you for your help. I need your help. And my dear friends, we too sometimes, from time to time, when we find ourselves in problems, difficulties, who do we go to? Sometimes we go to the neighbor once, twice, third time they say, don't make it a habit. So who can we really turn to? Sometimes the people who we are telling the problems to cannot even help us. So what should we do? Raja Yudhishthira is saying, when we find ourselves in difficulties, what do? We present ourselves before Bhagwan. We make that sincere prayer to Bhagwan, and surely, my dear friends, Bhagwan will help us through all our difficulties. So he says, Hey Prabhu, आपसे प्रार्थना है कि आप अपने गए हुए राग में किस विधि से पुनः प्राप्त कर सकता हो. He says, "Oh Bhagavan Krishna, I have come to you for your help to regain my lost kingdom." And so he says here, friends, Bhagavan Krishna ने कहा कि हे युधिष्ठिर सुनो. And so Bhagavan Krishna, listening to the prayer of Raja Yudhishthir, he says, सुनिए, listen to my words very attentively. ओ राजा युधिष्ठिर, आपके हित की एक बात आपको बता रहा हूं. He says, oh Raja Yudhishthir, I will now tell you of something that will be of great interest and benefit to you, and that which will help to overcome all of these difficulties that you are experiencing. And so he says here, आप पूर्ण मनोयोग से और चित्त को एकाग्र कर श्री गणपति के आराधना करें. He says, O Yudhishthir, undoubtedly, Bhagwan Ganesh is said to be the remover of all sufferings, all hardships. O Yudhishthir, worship that Bhagwan Ganesh with a pure and a sincere heart, a heart that is filled with love, faith, and devotion. You see, my dear friends, Bhagwan Krishna makes it very clear the criteria we need to worship Bhagwan. Yes, all the physical items might be very good to offer to him, but he says that prayer must be offered with all sincerity, a heart that is filled with love and devotion. And when you can offer that prayer, my dear friends, with all sincerity, surrendering yourself to him, surely you will make that divine connection with Bhagwan, and Bhagwan will answer that prayer. So he says, उनके पूजन से आपके दुख दूर हो जाएगा. He says, O Raja Yudhishthir, through the worship of Bhagwan Ganesh, all one's problems will be eradicated. All your pains, your difficulties, your distress will be eradicated through the blessings of Bhagwan Ganesh. Suno Yudhishthir, listen, O Yudhishthir, unka naam hi Vignaharata hai. And that is one of the very beautiful names of Bhagwan Ganesh. He says his name, O Yudhishthir, is Vignaharata, the one who removes all the obstacles, the trials and the tribulations of his bhakta, of his devotee. And my dear friends, this clearly tells us we all need the blessings of Bhagwan in our life, of Bhagwan Ganeshji, because each and every day, friends, there might be some obstacles, some difficulties that we may not be able to remove on our own. And this is where we need to keep that close connection with Bhagwan. So in those difficult moments, he will be able to remove all of this. उनका पूजन करने से आपको पूर्ण शांति प्राप्त होगी. And so he says, O Raja Yudhishthir, by worshipping this Bhagwan Ganeshji, he will surely remove all your sufferings, and he will bless you with all success and happiness. And Bhagwan, he says in this very beautiful duha, Krishna vachana suni dharma sudha, bole par siddhanai, गणपति कवन सुनाता है, सो मोहि कहूँ हो जाए. So Bhagwan Krishna, he says, Shri Krishna के वचन सुनकर, hearing the words of Bhagwan Krishna, धर्मराज युधिष्ठिर उनके चरणों में वचन कर बोले. Yudhishthir, my dear friends, listening to the advice given by Bhagwan Krishna, he bowed before the feet of Lord Krishna. Kripa mujhe Ganapati ki katha samajhakar bataiye. And so he says, Oh Bhagwan Krishna, Yudhishthir, now he gets a little bit more interested in what Bhagwan has to say. He says, Prabhu, can you kindly narrate the kathas of that Lord Ganesh that you speak of? And so, Lord Ganesh, friends, he is going to relate one of these very beautiful kathas that glorifies Bhagwan Ganesh. What is he saying to Raja Yudhishthir? We all join again, friends, as we chant Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayani Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayani Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Suno Bhupa Paramadavadi Gananayaka Deva Anadi.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayani Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Shiva ko tanaya vidita trailoka, Shiva ko tanaya vidita trailoka, tinake puji hoi Vishnu ka. Bolo
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayani Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Sakala vigana kara dura hamari,
Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Hey Dharmaraj, suno, he says, O Yudhishthir, listen to this very beautiful katha of Ganapati Baba. Shri Ganapati Ganayak hai aur Anadi Deva hai. Bhagwan Krishna, he says, O Yudhishthir, Lord Ganesh is also known as Gananayak. He is, described as being without a beginning, without an end. And so, यहाँ तीन लोक में ज्ञात है कि वह भगवान शिव की संतान है, O Dharmaraj. It is known along the three lokas that he is the son of Bhagwan Shankar. Shankara Suvana Bhavani Nandan. He is the son of Bhagwan Shankar and Devi Parvati. उनकी पूजा करके जब मैं सभी दुख और शोक से मुक्त पाते हैं. Bhagwan Krishna says, O Dharmaraj, everyone in the world can be rid of all pain, sorrows and hardships again by worshipping him with Shraddha or Bhakti, with faith, belief and devotion. And this is important for us to understand, friend. As bhaktas, as people who pray, when we offer that prayer, you must have no doubt in your mind that Bhagwan is present and he is listening to your prayer. Half of your prayer is based on your belief. You believe in what you're doing. And when you believe in what you're doing, friends, you will see the results. So he says, worship him with faith, bhakti, with faith, belief and devotion. And he will take away all that distress. Meri ek aur ichha. And so Yudhishthir says, O Prabhu, I have one more desire. I have one more wish. Hey Krishna, मैं हाथ जोड़ आपसे विनती करता हूँ. Yudhishthir, friends, he puts his hands together and सर्वप्रथम किसने भगवान गणेश का पूजन किया, यहाँ कृपा कर मुझे समझाकर बताइए हे यदुनंदन. And so Yudhishthir, he says, O Bhagwan, another name for Bhagwan Krishna is Yadunandan. Please explain to me in detail, who worshipped this Bhagwan Ganesh first? Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir के वचन सुनकर भगवान कृष्ण मुस्कुराते हुए बोले. Hearing the words of Yudhishthir, Bhagwan Krishna, he smiled. He says, O King, O Yudhishthir. And he says here in this beautiful chaupai, Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamari.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamari.
Pratham Bharat Raja Nalagiyu Take Sab Sanshaya Mit Gayu.
Jai Ganesh Gananath दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
सुनत वचन कह धर्म सुकुमारा, सुनत वचन कह धर्म कुमारा, नल पर कवन परा दुख भारा बोल जय गणेश
गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे। सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
एक बार राजा नल ने यहाँ व्रत किया था और उनका सारे संशय मिट जाए था। He says, O Raja Yudhishthira, once King Nal, he observed this vrat, and due to the grace of Bhagwan, all his distress, his sorrows was disappeared. यहाँ सुनकर धर्मराज ने पूछा कि राजा नल पर ऐसा कौन सा बड़ी दुख आन पड़ा था। And so Raja Yudhishthira, listening to the words of Bhagwan, he asked, he says, "Oh Prabhu, tell me, what tremendous suffering was King Nal going through? What was his situation? What was his problem?" And so नल 9 कांडों का राजा था और कुछ काल तक उसने शुक से राज्य किया। भगवान कृष्ण says, "O Yudhishthira, he, King Nal, he was the king of 9 khandas or 9 regions as it were, and for some time he ruled very happily." एक समय, but one day, उस पर विपत्ति आई और राग देश तथा परिवार को चोर कर जहाँ पर, he says, Bhagwan Krishna, he says, "O Dharmaraj, once he was struck by misfortune, and so facing this misfortunes as it were, he had to leave his kingdom, he had to leave and family and all behind, and he had to go into the forested region." राजा अपने पत्नी के साथ गया था और वहाँ अपनी पत्नी से बिछोड़ गया। Nikatha says to us, Raja Nal, together with his patni, his wife, they both of them, they left for the forested region. And so while going through the forested region, something happened, friends. Unknown to them, they got separated in that forested region. If you are going to a strange place, more likely than not, you might get lost. So King Nal, he did not know the whereabouts of the forest. And so while they were moving from place to place, they both got separated. उन पर आई इस महाविपत्ति का वरण में आप से किस प्रकार, he says, Bhagwan Krishna says, "O Dharmaraj, how can I describe, how can I explain, the great misfortune that befell both of them?" Rani, and what was his consort name? His consort name was Damyanti. Rani Damyanti बहुत विलाप करने लगी, अति शोक के कारण मूर्छित होकर गिर पड़ी. And so the Katha says, friends, the wife of King Nal, Dhamyati, being separated from her husband, all alone in the forest, she became very, very scared. She became very, very anxious. And, due to the excessive grief, not knowing what to do, where to go, she fell in an unconscious state. And so, being in that unconscious state, what happens? The Katha continues to tell us. Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Karadura Hamari.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vidana Karadura Hamari.
Gata Murcha Uti Chahala Balamahi Mahavikala Tanu Sukhi Kachunahi.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
फिरत विपिन एक आश्रम देखा, फिरत विपिन एक आश्रम देखा, बैठे ऋषि कह पूज विवेका।
जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे, सकल
विघ्न कर दूर हमारे।
वन में विचारणा करते करते उसने आश्रम देखा, जहाँ आती पूजा ऋषि विराजमान। And so after some time she regained her consciousness, and so she thought to herself, I cannot stay here in this one spot. I need to move around and see if I can find my way or find, my husband. And so she started to move around, and as she was moving around in the forested region, friends, she came upon an ashram. Would you say that is a blessing? If you are driving along the way and you happen to see an ashram, would you say that is a blessing? That is a holy spot. It is indeed a blessing for your eyes to see, a temple. And so she came upon this ashram where this sage was living. And on seeing him, can you imagine, friends? She felt a little bit happy. She felt some hope. And so quickly she made her way into the temple. Prostrating, paying her respects, now she begins to speak. She begins to talk to the sage living in an ashram. Hey Rishivar, O Rishi, Kripa meri baat suniye. She says, please listen to what I have to say. And so she is narrating to the sage. Kahi Raja Nal ko dekha hai. She's asking, oh sage, have you seen Raja Nal? He is my husband. Both of us were together in the forest, and accidentally we both got lost and we got separated. And she says, Raja, have you seen him? Rishi ne kaha. And so the Rishi says, hey Mata, O mother. He says, Hamane Raja Nal ko nahi dekha. He says, no, I have not seen him. Yaha sunkar Rani udas ho gayi. And so, can you imagine, friends, that little bit of hope she had. Now he says, no, I have not seen him. And hearing these words, the queen, Damayanti, she felt heartbroken. And so, in that very depressed state, she left the ashram and she kept looking for her husband. And so, going in different places, what happens? Katha tells us, Bhagavan Krishna says, Yudhishthir, suniye. Jai Ganesha Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare.
Bais chit aage chali rani, nadi ekata dekha sayani.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare.
Taha apasara bhajan kari, mangal gana sunat dukha tarai.
Jai Ganesh Gananath Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare.
Sakala vigana kar dura hamare.
Sakala Vigana Kar Dura Hamare.
तोरी सावधान होने पर रानी आगे बढ़ चली. वहां उसने एक सुंदर नदी देखी. And so as she was moving from place to place, friends, she came upon a very, very beautiful river. A very beautiful spot, a very beautiful river. And so there in that river, as it were, there was an apsara. An apsara, friends, is a heavenly being. you know, and that heavenly being, friends, was bathing there in the waters of the river. And there is what we refer to in India as the Manas Sarovar. In that lake, in the Manas Sarovar, it is said in the night time, in the evening time, the devatas, they leave the heaven and they come there to take their bath. And you see flashes of light coming down in that Manas Sarovar. It is not a very easy place to get to. It's very, very difficult. And so those heavenly beings, they come there in the Manas Sarovar evening time to take bath. Similarly to this Apsara, this heavenly being, she was there bathing in that beautiful stream, in that river. And there, Mangala Swar mein gayan kar rahi hai. And while she was bathing in that clear crystal-like water, she was singing and chanting the name of Bhagwan. And so Damayanti, listening to that very beautiful voice, by the Katha says, just by listening to her voice, one would forget all one's sins and distress. Can you imagine how beautiful she was singing? Maybe something like me. So the Katha says, just by listening to that very beautiful voice, one will forget all one's sorrows and distress. Can you imagine how very beautiful? Damayanti वहाँ अप्सरा के पास आई और उसे प्रेम सत पूछा. It is said in the Katha, friends, Damayanti, seeing this, Apsara as it were, she came very close to where she was and very lovingly she asked. And friends, when we need to ask a question, how do we ask the question? With all humility, and right? Why do we ask questions? Sometimes we ask a question to see because you really want a genuine answer. You don't know and you want an answer. Sometimes we ask a question to see how much an individual knows. And then thirdly, sometimes we ask a question to cause embarrassment. Let me explain. Sometimes we look when there is a lot of people around, and then you want to ask a question. Maybe the person might know, may not know, but in so doing, it causes some kind of embarrassment. But here, my dear friends, whenever we are asking a question, it should be because we genuinely want to know, to get that knowledge. And so, Nikatha says, in a very loving voice, she says, "Hey Buddhi Mati Nari, aap kiski puja kar rahi hu?" O intelligent one, possessing such a very beautiful voice, please tell me, who are you praising? Who are you singing to? Who are you worshipping? Tell me all about the nature of this worship, this, bhajan, kirtan that you are singing. And so, the Apsara, friends, listening, she now goes on to reply to Damayanti. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Jai Ganesh Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Gananayak ki puja karahi, jehi puja sankat dukha karahi.
Jai Ganesh Gananatha Dayanidhi Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
Sakala Vigana
Kara Dura Hamari. Sakala Vigana Kara Dura Hamari.
So the Apsara says, मैं गणनायक भगवान की पूजा कर रही हूँ, जिनकी पूजा करने से सारे दुख एवं संकट टल जाते हैं. And so the heavenly Apsara, she's saying, I am worshipping Bhagwan Ganesh, who removes all kinds of distress and misfortunes. And so स्त्री या पुरुष जो भी इस व्रत को करने हैं उस मन वांछित फल की प्राप्त होती है. And so listening to the words, friends, when we find ourselves in difficulties, and we get the advice, no more than ever, we want to take the advice and we want to get rid of difficulties and so forth. And so she says, oh, heavenly being. And so the Apsara is saying, she says, whether a man or a lady, whoever worships Bhagwan Ganeshji and, observe the vrat, that is what we are doing for these 10 days. We are observing the Ganesh vrat. He says, whether it is a man or a lady, whoever observes this vrat gets whatever he wants. All desires are fulfilled. Now the queen, Damayanti, she gets very interested because she is looking for her husband. And so what happens here, friends? Katha says, the Apsara says, O queen, listen to my words. She's saying, observe this vrat of Lord Ganesh, and I am most certain that you will find the king, your husband. And so, listening to the advice of Damayanti, friends, she started making the preparations to worship Bhagwan together with the Apsara. And so, पूजन कर अप्सरा स्वर लोक में चली गई और रानी में मन विचार लगी. And Katha says to us, making all the offerings as it was, she started to glorify Bhagwan Ganeshji. And they were singing, Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashtavinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bapa Moria.
Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashtavinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bapa Moria.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah,
Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah,
Ashtavinayak
Namo Namah, Ganapati Bapa Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashtavinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bapa Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah, Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah, Ashtavinayak Namo Namah, Ganapati Bapa Moria. Ganapati Bapa Moria. Ganapati Bapa Moria.
And so, making all the offerings, chanting, worshipping Bhagwan Ganesh. After the worship was completed, the Apsara, friends, she bid farewell to Damayanti, and so she left for her heavenly abode. And the Katha says, Damayanti, she left that spot and she started moving along again. And so it was through the divine grace of Bhagwan. It is said at the same time, the king also, he was searching, and it is said that their paths crossed. They met with each other, and Damayanti, she thought to herself, this has to be the blessings of Bhagwan Ganesh. And so, रानी ने राजा को व्रत के प्रभाव से भारे में सारी बातें सुनाई. And so, meeting the king, she felt very, very happy. And she said, the queen, she says, O king, she says, by performing this puja to Bhagwan Ganesh, she related everything that was done. And she says, because we would have performed this puja, this is the blessings of Bhagwan Ganesh ji. यही व्रत राजा नल ने किया और उसका सारे संकट गए. And so the king, hearing of the greatness of this worship of Bhagwan Ganesh, he decided he would also observe the vrat. And so by doing so, friends, it is said eventually he got back the kingdom and he was once more reunited with his entire family. And so he now understood the greatness of the worship of Bhagwan Ganeshji. And so it is said, friends, success is guaranteed when, we remember him, when we remember to chant and to glorify his name. Surely all obstacles will be removed from our lives. So tonight, the Katha clearly tells us, it is important. We need the grace and the blessings of Bhagwan Ganesh. Just like King Nal and Damayanti, having experienced, great difficulty, when they offered that prayer to Bhagwan Ganeshji, he removed, all difficulties, and they were once more reunited with each and every one. So the Katha very clearly tells us, friends, as we come to the end, keep the worship of Bhagwan Ganeshji. At the end of these 10 days, what are we going to do? Are we going to forget Bhagwan Ganesh? No, we have to continue this worship each and every day of our lives, and surely his blessings will be with all of us. Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So tonight, friends, as I would have mentioned at the very beginning, we are very blessed to have our Dharmachar with us, Pandit Dr. Rampasad Parashuram. And, tonight will be incomplete if we did not ask him to, give of his blessings to all of us. So I want to pass the mic over now to our dear beloved Dharmacharji.
Bolo Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Please clasp your hands and bow your heads. Hari Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah Sri Saraswatyai Namah Sri Gurubhya Namah Hari Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Hari Om Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. God bless you all. Vyas ji, Pandit Videsh Vyas, and of course his father, my colleague, friend, and relative, is seated on my left. And I really was very eager to listen to the Katha. It's very younger ones tell the Kathas, and we get the opportunity to listen. Of course, his brother is also here. And Panditji, I did say to you earlier that I had the privilege of listening to you earlier in the day. I didn't get the whole Katha, but from TV Jagriti, I heard part of the Katha. So let me firstly congratulate Pandit Devdutt Vyasji, our Updharmacharya, a very distinguished Pandit in Trinidad and Tobago and the region, for bringing up your children in this way, that they are able to carry on this noble tradition of your forefathers, our forefathers. So congratulations, it's very nice to have them. And Bhajan group, I know there are other Pandits in the audience, I want to recognize them, a Bhajan group. As always, you all make tremendous effort to contribute to yagnas, to pujas, to bhajan, kirtan, all over the country. So it's very nice to be in your company, listening to you all. And all of you, ladies and gentlemen, who have come to take part in this Ganesh Yagna during the course of this Sri Ganesh Utsav. It's very nice to be in your company. I know that this broadcast will also reach people in other parts of the world. So greetings from Trinidad and Tobago to all of you, wherever you are, and those of you who will take the broadcast in Trinidad and Tobago, may the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Ganapati Ganesh be upon all of you. May you receive the maximum blessings for the effort you have made to make our Ganesh Utsav this year very, very successful. Now I say that, it's not yet over. There's still a couple of days to go. On Thursday, most people will do the final Visarjan, where they will take the Sri Ganesh Murti and put it in water and let it dissolve in water. As we say, that's the path that Sri Ganesh Ji takes to return to his heavenly abode. That's the belief. So we do the Visarjan. And I say this, that the festival has been very successful because I have had the privilege. I went to Brazil in the East, for example, Pastor Rima, Pastor San Rafael, to join Pandit Shivajanak Maharaj, who was there, and the members of that community and that Mandir, and was able to take part in celebrations there. And then on the invitation of Pandit Atma Maharajji, I spent some time at Churku village. And there's something about that I want to share with you perhaps a little later. It shan't be very, very long, but it was a pleasure going there. And then I joined Pandit Anand Maharaj, who was a member of the executive of the Pandits Parishad, along with you, Videsh. So, Visheshji. Yes. So I spent some time with Panditji at Magnitude, Shiv Mandir, there. And then, of course, tomorrow I have plans to go to the Lower Makbin Mandir, where normally I myself preside, but my nephew, my brother's son, will be doing the puja tomorrow. And I also, last night, I had an opportunity to spend some time at the Monroe Road Mandir with Pandit Navin Omadat Maharajji, the president of the Pandits Parishad. And so I've been around during this Utsav, and I've observed what's happening everywhere. And also I've seen the enthusiasm and the high level of sincerity with which people have come out to worship Sri Ganesh on this occasion. And I really want to congratulate all the people who have made these events in our various mandirs across the country possible. All the people, I mean all the people. Which brings me to this. Mr. Jagmohan. Yes. Oh, I don't see Donald at the moment. I suppose he is walking somewhere in the back. Yes. But he extended the invitation for me to come and be part of this yagna. And I am very thankful to him to have extended the invitation for me to come tonight. And not only did he extend the invitation, he also reminded me. Yes. And that is always an indication that he really wanted me to come. So I'm very, very thankful to him and his team here. And he is, of course, the principal of Makbin Hindu. I know there are other teachers in the audience, including your good selves. Yes. Thank you for, joining us here. But Mr. Jagmohan did point out to me other teachers as well, with whom he had worked previously, who are present in the audience. So I was saying he's principal of Makbin Hindu, which is next door to me. I live in Makbin still, and he's also a member of the executive of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha, and he's regional coordinator. So he's a very key person in the scheme of things and making things happen in our community. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate him for all that he does. And I can tell you that he has not been very long since he came to Makbin. When did he join us? 3 years when he came to Makbin, right? Yes. And during this period, if you pass in front of Makbin Hindu School now, you'll see that there's an entire new wing that has gone up. And I want to say that while the community has contributed to that, Mr. Jagmohan has been the driving force behind that construction in Makbin, the extension of the Makbin Hindu School. And I think I really want you all to give him a huge round of congratulations and a huge round of applause for that and the effort that you have made in promoting Sanatan Dharma in Trinidad and Tobago. So there is that. Now, having said all of these things, in a country where every day we hear bad news, if you open the newspapers, if you look at the headlines, if you listen to many news channels, if you go on social media, the bad news is everywhere. The bad news is everywhere. And when we are constantly exposed to bad news, that has a depressing effect on many of us. And many of us begin to feel a sense of helplessness and hopelessness. Because um, that's who we are. I mean, if we keep hearing negative things, bad things, of all the negative things happening in the country, it must have an effect on us. So I was sitting here thinking tonight that maybe we should take a pledge, all of us, instead of allowing the bad news to go out, let's begin to spread the good news. And that's why I talked about what was happening in Brazil, Mandir, what was happening in Jurku village, Mandir, what was happening in Magnitudes, and what's happening elsewhere. And, you know, this is only one side of it, but there are many other very good things that are happening. Today I had the privilege of joining the Secretary General of the Sanatana Dharma Mahasabha, Shri Vijay Maharaj ji, and his wife, Mrs. Nami Maharaj, ki Dharam Patni, and the principal, Mrs. Sonia Mahes at Lakshmi Girls there. And you know, there's the Gayatri Mandir at the Mahasabha headquarters, where Pandit Sunil Oja Maharaj ji installed a little murti for a couple of days of Sri Ganesh Bhagavan. And we were able to do very brief puja. But why I'm saying it too, I saw the happiness, the joy in the faces of the high school students, the girls of Lakshmi Girls High School, as they got an opportunity to come and make their offerings to Bhagavan Sri Ganesh. That is good news, and that is positive activity. So, without commenting on the Katha or anything else about the significance of Ganapati Sri Ganesh and you know, dealing with some of the other issues that arise from some of these Kathas, I think my message tonight is, let the good news go out. Let us become our ambassadors, our own ambassadors, and tell our neighbors and our friends and our children who are elsewhere about what is happening in our community, of how, in spite of the last few years of difficulty that we had with regards to the pandemic and so on, that our mandirs are full again. And the people are coming out in their numbers to celebrate and to worship Bhagavan and to give thanks and to give praise. And that we are all engaged in positive community activity. And through this, only good can come, not only to the Hindu community, but to the entire nation. And in fact, what is happening here in this country is also, when we consider what's happening elsewhere, we also link up with a world family as we celebrate good things together. So I, for one, am going to keep telling people about what I saw here and what I saw in the other places and what I experienced today. And so how many of you are with me, actually? You'll become ambassadors and go tell people the good news, yes? If you're going to become ambassadors, please put up your hands. I'd like you to tell me that you're going to spread the good news, yes? Thank you very much. So as you see the hands go up. And may the blessings of Bhagwan Sri Ganesh be upon all of you. Once again, Donaldji, thank you very much for extending the invitation. Yes. And Panditji, thank you very much for your katha. And Pandit Videsh Vyas, it's always a pleasure being in your company. Of course, we've known each other for a very, very long time. And one of my nieces is married into the family, actually. So we are like samdhi, he and I. So there is that. But it's always a pleasure being in his company. He's one of the leading lights in Sanatana Dharma in Trinidad and Tobago. Sajjano, what else shall I say? Bow your heads. Hari Om Rigveda Jajurveda Samaveda Yatharvana Rakshante Chaturveda Yavat Chandra Divakara. May you be forever blessed as long as the sun is in the heavens, the moon is in the heavens. May you be protected by the teachings of our saints as contained in the four Vedas of Sanatana Dharma. बोलो सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, बोलो सर्व भूमंडल देवी देवता की जय. हरि ओम. Thank you very much.
Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagavan ki jai. So we say a very special thank you to our Dharmachar for taking the time, beating all the traffic and coming down to Esperance. Right? So at this time, my dear friends, okay, we all going to stand as we join in Puranahuti. Harihi Om Puranamada Puranamidam Puranata Puramadachyate Puranasya Puramadaya Puranameva Vashishyate Sarvam Vai Purnagum Swaha. Om Sarvatirtasmayuktam Sugandhi Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Maya Dattam Grihitam Parameshwari Vanaspati Raso Bhuto Gandharu Gandha Uttamam Agre Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Pratigrehitam. Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva. Oh Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva. 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 एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी दुखियों के दुखारत परमानंद देवा परमानंद देवा परमानंद देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। 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 अंदर को आग देकर कोरियन को खाया अंदर को आग देकर कोरियन को खाया अंदर को पुत्र देकर निर्धन को माया महाजन को पुत्र देकर निर्धन को माया हंस पार करो ना भजन करो तेरा हंस पार करो ना भजन करो तेरा भजन करो तेरा भजन करो तेरा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। 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 जो तेरा ज्ञान करे ज्ञान मिले उसको जो तेरा ज्ञान कर ज्ञान मिले उसको चोर तुझे और भला ज्ञान है किसको चोर तुझे और भला ज्ञान है किसको। हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा कष्ट हरो मेरा कष्ट हरो मेरा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। 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 मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया friends, as we have come to the end of Katha. Let's put our hands together. We once again seek the blessings of Bhagwan. As we join in, we close in prayer. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janarjanam yat pujitam maya deva परिपूर्णं तरस्तु मे जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा
जय गणेश देवा
पार्वती पिता महादेवा नरवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा नरवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश देवा त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी माता की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम. Kindly take your seats, my dear friends. And once again, we say a very special thank you to all of you for making the time and coming and joining with us. A special invitation, you can join us once again tomorrow. Tomorrow is the concluding night, so I don't think you would want to miss tomorrow. So you all are invited to come, bring along the entire family. And for the last time, we perform the puja of Bhagwan Ganesh. Who knows what will happen next year? So we have the opportunity now, everybody. So one more day to go. Make the sacrifice. Come and surely you will receive of the blessings of Bhagwan. So until tomorrow night, Jai Sitaram, Bhagwan's blessings to all. Okay, I almost forget the president. All right, so as we were doing every single night, at the end of it, the president must have the final say. Okay, so we want to invite Donette to the microphone.
Our Vyas for tonight, Pandit Videsh Vyas, our Dharmacharya, Pandit Dr. Rampasad Parasram, my neighbor at school, Guruji Pandit Devrat Vyas, Vyas of the Yajna, Pandit Vishesh, Pandit Sachitanand, our resident Pandit at our Mandir, members of the Bhajan group, all the devotees gathered, Sitaram. Let me first offer my thanks and appreciation to Dharmacharya for accepting the invitation and being here, traveling from far. There are lots of rain in Macbean this evening. Lots and lots of rain. And I couldn't even go into my vehicle to come home this evening, how the weather was bad this evening. But he's here. So thank you very much. And your lesson for spreading good news. That is an important lesson. Because when we spread the news, we will spread the bad one. Master, let something go wrong. We spread that news. We don't spread the good news, the good things that you hear in puja, the good things that you went to the katha, and good things that are happening. So Baba, thank you very much. And that should be our motive now, to adopt, to spread good news to all. I'm indeed happy. The yajna went so fast, just one more evening. And I want to say a few thank yous. Today, my sisters are here from Delhi Road Hindu School. I worked there for a number of years, and they are family, like family to me. So they are here. And then I have a new family here, Akash. So just make some family. Wherever you go, make some friends, make some family, and have good relationships. We don't ever forget the relationships that we have. We have our friends in my experience, I have my San Francisco family, and I have my Delhi Road family. All I'm missing is Mala. Yeah, right? We have our Delhi Road family, and then we have the Macbean Hindu School family, and Dharmacharya is our family too, right there. If we cry hard, he will be able to come out. If we park in the road, he's right there as well. So these are relationships that we forge. And each one of you all here is a relationship that you have forged with the Mandir. Some of you, not only for this year, not only last year, but for many years, you forged that relationship. And each year, whether the invitation comes or it doesn't come, you are here. Right? I'm happy that Says is here. Sitaram says. Says is one of the long time people when this branch now started. Close to, I wouldn't say how much years. And Says used to run Sunday morning service at one time. And she was here, her family too, with her mother and all of them were involved at the Mandir here. So it's nice to see Says again and welcome. And all of you all, thank you very much for coming. Tomorrow evening, it's going to be a longer evening. But you have choices to make, right? You can stay on. You can come later. So just let me tell you what tomorrow is going to be like. We're going to have our normal reading, as usual. And then we're going to have, whilst last night, lots of people take that opportunity to come and do their puja and so on. So whilst all of this is taking place, we have some wonderful bhajans that will be done by Abhijit Ankatesu and his group. And we also have Victoria Maharaj and her group. So Abhijit Ankatesu, he was once the winner of the Coca-Cola Diwali singing competition. Coca-Cola teen, I think. And Victoria Maharaj, she was once Masana Bahar winner as well. So they opt to come to the Mandir out of their busy schedule and to share in some wonderful bhajans and have the night going. Tomorrow is the Ganesh Jagran, the night that we wake and we get the blessings of the Lord Ganesh. The 12 o'clock hour, the first moving of the Murti will take place at that time. Final arati and the moving of the Murti. And then we leave the Mandir at 3 a.m. Because, by the river, there are lots of Mandirs gathered there. And if you're late, well, they chastise you because they promote the specific rules of the time for the submersion of the Murti. So we make our journey to the pond, and by 6 we are back here at the Mandir for the closing aspects of the yajna, and then of course the giving of the dakshinas and the blessings coming from the Brahmins and so on. So you're all invited to come and join us for this evening. Some of you all do not have to work on Thursday. The Vyas will be here. He doesn't have to work on Thursday. He has a holiday. The Vyas for tonight and the other Vyas too. And the other Vyas retired. So we have nothing on Thursday, right? And many of you all will have a holiday on Thursday. Some of you all will have, and some of you will take a holiday from Monday. And you will come and be part of the Ganesh Puja. It's a sacrifice, right? It's a sacrifice when we wake and we sing our blessings, sing the bhajans, and get the blessings of Lord Ganesh. So thank you all very much. Meals are prepared for all of you all. Those of you who want to come to the Murti and do your arti and so on, you can come as usual each evening.